book is so important. I've had friends that have gone through this, and it's very, very tough. What do you do when you get the news of cancer? What do you do when you're trying to keep your family together? Everything's going along smoothly, and all of a sudden you hear the diagnosis of terminal cancer. James Forker is with us. His book is called The End of the Rainbow, One Man's Unexpected Journey of Love and Loss Through Leukemia. James, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
So first, let's talk about your story and what happened.
Sure. So, life was going well as expected. My wife Jen and I, we had 3 kids. One, the oldest, was from her previous marriage, and then we had 2 together. And we were living our lives, enjoying, vacations and everything that you do, raising your children, until a day that I'll never forget. In April of 2017, my wife had not been feeling well for a few months, but typical symptoms that you could write off, headaches, some back pain, night sweats, you name it. And she was a working mom of 3 children. And, her friend decided to take her into the local ER just to kind of see what's going on. And I am literally on a plane flying, taxiing in Logan Airport in Boston when I got a call from the friend that took her to the ER for me to get off the plane. And they put the doctor on the phone. And, the doctor expressed to me that she believes that my wife, Jen, had ALL, which is adult lymphoblastic leukemia. And after that day, the world completely changed.
Yeah, so you talk about what you do, what you go through, what do you do for your wife, and what was that like? I mean, what do you do to help the person that you love the most, and you still have young children?
Well, there's no script or playbook for this, right? Nobody gives you a guide when, your loved one is diagnosed with cancer, especially I was 42 at the time, and my oldest was 15. My youngest was 11. So that's a great question. And, for a year and a half, it was this balance between being at the hospital, which she was in the hospital a lot, being home, which, we lived about an hour from the hospital in Boston, to be with my kids, and then figuring out how to continue to work in order to financially provide for everything and maintain health insurance and the treatments that she was receiving. So I don't know if I ever figured that out, to be honest with you. And you just take I had to take one day at a time.
So you're taking one day at a time, and then you come to the point where you have to say goodbye, and that is so tough. And how do you move forward?
Well, the saying goodbye part, honestly, my wife always had the attitude that she was going to be part of the 1% of people that, are told that they are not going to survive, and they do. So she always held on to that mantra. And literally, Kate, it was a week, not even a week before she died, that we basically had that conversation as far as, what was soon to come. And that was the hardest part, because when you give up and, succumb, then we felt that things would just move quicker. And, she probably would have passed earlier, but she fought, and she never wanted to have the attitude that she was going to lose the fight. So, it was only 4 or 5 days prior to her passing away that we really did have that conversation as far as us and her and, what life would be like without her.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful book, such a great memoir, honestly, End of the Rainbow, and just unbelievable. This woman that so many people loved, and then how do you do that, and what do you do to move forward? Anybody could read this book. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. What do you want people to take away from reading The End of the Rainbow?
I would like people to come away with the thought that when you have the opportunity to spend as much time with, the people that you care about and be surrounded by loved ones as much as possible to make every minute count. Because my wife was the healthiest person that I knew, and she had zero risk factors. And this was really, I want to say a different word, but this was really bad luck. And you need to cherish every moment because life is short, and, having a balance between work and family, like family is everything. And, you blink and, 30 years go by. So the biggest takeaway for me is for people to see, the memories and the joy that you have with your loved ones, and just don't take it for granted, because one day you can wake up with a phone call like I did and everything changes. So you really need to appreciate your time.
Yeah. How's the family doing now?
We're great. I mean, all things considered, my oldest is in college, my two are in high school, and I am very close with my children, and I know that my wife Jen would be very upset with me if I didn't take the course that I did after she passed away. And everything that I do and how I parent my kids and see them grow up is really modeled after what she was and still is to them.
Yeah, love it. Again, The End of the Rainbow. You can pick up the book, like I said already, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Thanks, James, for coming on.
Thank you, Kate. Appreciate it. Thank you.